Hello, guys. It's your boy Emmanuel. I'm a general practitioner in the United Kingdom. Have you ever felt really low in the winter period? Have you noticed that there are certain times when, as soon as it gets to spring or winter, you just start feeling low? You start struggling to get out of bed, you lack motivation. Some people might even begin to have suicidal thoughts in the extreme cases, or thoughts of harming themselves, or thoughts of harming others. And then as soon as the winter is over, you find that your mood becomes much better. You start feeling better. And then the next spring, winter period, you lapse into this depressive illness or depressive state again. You very likely have what we call seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression. It's sometimes commonly called SAD as an acronym. Now, according to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, the 5th edition, DSM-5, for us as medical professionals to diagnose seasonal affective disorder, a person should have had seasonal depression on at least 2 episodes. What I mean, 2 years, which means 2 consecutive years, maybe 2023, 2024 winter periods, or any other season, but it's most commonly happens during the winter periods. Then we can say this person has seasonal affective disorder. In one of my previous videos, I talked about vitamin D production and how people who live in temperate areas like the UK, where I'm living, Canada, United States, places where they experience winter, essentially, especially prolonged periods of winter, such people are more prone to being vitamin D deficient. I remember in that video, I talked about the fact that vitamin D deficiency contributes to depression and anxiety. So the fact that when we get to the winter period, there's virtually no sunlight exposure. A lot of people are indoors because it's freezingly cold. There's really no sunlight. We have shorter days and longer nights. That come with the winter solstice. All of those contribute to reduced ability of your body to synthesize vitamin D. And that also contributes to seasonal affective disorder. So, over saying that emphasizes the need for us to take our vitamin D supplements during the spring and winter periods. So, don't forget to take your vitamin D supplementation or supplements during your winter period, so your mood doesn't really crash, especially if you're someone who is prone to having depressive illness during the winter periods. So bear this in mind. Something else that has been found in people who are more prone to having SAD is that there's a protein called the CERT, the SET protein, that helps to carry serotonin. So serotonin, we typically call it the happy hormone. The SET protein that helps to transfer serotonin from the presynaptic neuron, from the synaptic cleft. So you have a presynaptic neuron and you have a postsynaptic neuron or nerve cell, and then serotonin, the space in between is the cleft. So serotonin is supposed to be released from the presynaptic, go into the cleft and bind to the postsynaptic. Now the SET helps in that process. Now the SET helps in returning the serotonin to the presynaptic after it's been released. Now people who are prone to having the seasonal affective disorder have been found to have a higher amount of that SET protein, which means that even when the serotonin is released from the presynaptic, it gets transferred back into the presynaptic ganglia. So they relatively don't have enough serotonin or happy hormones to stimulate their postsynaptic neurons. So that also contributes to the depression that people experience during the winter periods. Now, it's also been found that people who experience seasonal affective disorder tend to have a higher production of melatonin from their pineal gland. Now, melatonin is a sleep hormone produced by the pineal gland in the midbrain, in the brain. Now, the pineal gland, what that pineal gland is supposed to do is that it induces sleep and also helps to maintain sleep. So you can imagine if someone is having excess production of melatonin, what it means is that they would be feeling sleepy. And then we found that people who have SAD have a higher production of melatonin, especially during the winter periods. So that makes them feel really sleepy. They just want to curl up in bed. They don't really want to do anything, So that makes sense. So just for us to be aware, if you find yourself feeling depressed during the winter, we're in spring, we're approaching winter. If you get to winter, or even from now, if you start feeling depressed, don't be surprised. Don't be asking you. Don't worry. Say, oh, where is this coming from? You need to understand why it's happening. You need to stay on top of your vitamin D supplementation, 400 units once a day. Except, of course, if there's a contraindication to you having that, but I don't see why you shouldn't have that. So speak to your doctor, speak to your mental health practitioner. It might be that you might need a change of location. So if you're someone who is very prone to having seasonal affective disorder, it might be that you might have to actually relocate. Yeah, out of a temperate, you might have to go to a place like Australia, where it is hot most of the year. So you might have to go to a more tropical area, go closer to the equator, go to a place where there's more sunlight. That might actually be a cure for your SAD. Or it might be that you need antidepressant medication to pull through. You might need some counseling sessions to support you during this period of struggles with your mental health. One thing I would say is, if you're having severe depression, so if you're beginning to have thoughts of harming yourself or harming someone else, you need to be reaching out very quickly to the either going to the emergency room, or speaking to the mental health crisis team, or speaking to your GP as quickly as possible to get that support that you need. One thing I've come to realize in life generally is that insight helps us so we understanding why things are happening helps us cope with things and seek help appropriately. There's nothing as frustrating as having a problem and not understanding why you're having that problem. And that's why I'm bringing this insight to us, for us to know there's something called seasonal depression or seasonal affective depression, for us to understand why it happens, so that we are more equipped with that information or insight, to deal with it when it happens, or if it happens. So I hope this video has been a blessing. I hope this video has really helped you in one way or the other. If you think it's been helpful, please and please and please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already. Share this video with someone who you think is depressed and could be having seasonal affective disorder, so they know exactly why they might be having that, and obviously know that they should be seeking help. Thank you.